Hi, everybody. It's Arthur here at Arthur Ease Your Mind on YouTube. And thank you for joining us on this wonderful Sunday. I know the rest of the country is like sweltering heat. It's 70 in Los Angeles. Don't hit me. Don't hate me. It's the 27th, and it's about 3:35 in the afternoon, and we're doing the Sunday solo show. And I really like you guys being here. I really do. Lots of insanity going on, as we all know. Good thing we're not in Scotland. Actually, I wish I was in Scotland. I'd be holding up signs too. I saw the best one was, "We hated Trump before it was fashionable." So that was a cute one. So in the meantime, let me get some stuff out of the way real fast. And please don't be like the one person that left a comment last week. I'm here for predictions. Why do you have to do all this? This is nonsense at the beginning. I think they were blocked. One more time, they will be. Anyway, so first of all, yes, we're doing political and world events tonight. I'm not doing personal questions. But if you are open for personal questions, I am doing a show, an event in September with Valerie. We do it once a month. It's an hour-long session on Zoom with 10 people. And August is already booked, but we have openings on Saturday, September 13th. So go to dragonflycrystals.store and you'll get all the information you need there. Or you can always send me an email, but don't put it all in caps. That's only for the chat. Okay? Also, I've been telling everybody, we're Mercury retrograde, and this one has really been bad. I'm going to tell you, this one with a capital S. I mean, really. So do have the guided meditation, Embracing Mercury Retrograde. We'll come out of it on the 11th of August. And as I've said before, you probably saw this. If not, bear with me. I finally get up, Creating Good Karma, How to Feng Shui a Car on my Timeless Tools for Fast Results playlist. Okay. I'm working on a cool one right now about manifestation, a Neville Goddard technique. So hopefully, I'm at a minimum one a month. So I'm in the middle of writing that one right now. So if anyone is looking for a reading, I do have available openings in August and into September. You can reach me at arthureaseyourmind.com. And I love it when people have call the number that's listed sometimes, and I'll answer in the way, "Oh my God, it's really you?" I'm like, well, I can hang up. You can leave a number. You can leave a voice message if you like. So, no, we end up talking. It's fun. So anyway, got lots of good questions, great questions actually, and we have Sherry and Walter in the back helping, and sometimes I feel like Pinocchio, but yeah. So they're in charge of getting the questions to me, and then I answer them. And people have asked me if I read the questions ahead of time. Once in a while I will, but I don't do the predictions ahead of time. It's basically spontaneous, but also remind everybody I'm not a magic 8-ball, so it doesn't come that fast. Sorry. Okay. All right. So why don't we get to some wonderful questions? And again, thank you everyone for being here. Good afternoon. Hi, Nora. Good afternoon, Arthur. Are the creators of The Simpsons oracles, or do they consult one? Their episode comes true for the orange clown. I've heard rumor that Matt Groening, one of the creators, he is psychic, and so I believe that's what they go with what he says, according to friends of friends of friends of friends of friends. But then again, I play telephone where one says something, the story. Anyway, but yeah, when they had him coming down the escalator, that was kind of freaky. But yeah, I believe Matt Groening is psychic, or something next to him is, but definitely. Okay. That show's been on longer than South Park. Mystical Magic. Howdy, Arthur. There was an image of an alien captured in Compton, California on a ring cam. What was it? I'm not sure. I have not read this one. I don't know about it, to be honest with you. But right away, my guides are saying hoax. Or maybe it was a praying mantis really close to the ring cam. Who knows? But I just got hoax. So if I'm wrong, beat me up. Okay. So thank you, Miss Magical Miss. Oh God, I can't talk today. I'm Elmer Fudd. Mystical Magic. Donna Empath. Hi. After the scandal with Epstein info is released, is it possible that Vance could be president for a short time before the new Democratic group comes in? I've never seen him as president, even in a short term. But in all honesty, I never saw Prince Charles as a king, and we know that was wrong. But no, I never saw Vance. But I did see, that there was a guy, I think it was from Norway, that came into the States. ICE looked at his phone, and he had that meme of Vance bald, and they wouldn't let him in the country and sent him back. Well, apparently there's a couple of rallies going down. That's what they're using as the picture. So it's great. There's big bug eyes, beard, and bald head. Egghead. I never saw Vance as president. I always see, like I said, I always got him as being listed as a co-conspirator. So, yeah, and that's like around the end of the year. Hi, Suzette. Does anyone in Texas believe government lies about how well the flood was handled? Texans are cowboys on steroids, but they don't like to be lied to. Will there be hell to pay? Howdy, y'all. Thanks, Arthur. It's not sitting well with them. Really, it's not sitting well with them. But then again, right afterwards, they keep on just putting more crap out there all the time. How great, wonderful FEMA was. And when Trump said that Kristi Noem was the best because she was the first one to be on TV, it's like, why did she be the first one helping people through the storm? That's the problem with this guy. Everything is, ratings and TV and what people look like. It's crazy. But yeah, I feel this is going to hurt the Republican Party bigly. Okay. Thanks, Suzette. Ivy Down. Hello, friend. Is the G Maxwell? Yeah, I'm not going to say her name. G Maxwell 45 reality show moot? It's not over. Nope. The old opera joke, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. She's in a coma. I gave her chocolate cake last night. Oops, didn't realize she was diabetic. So, yeah, it's not over. Might be a little quiet right now, but it's not over. Hi, Bree. I saw a UFO over the Oregon mountains when I was younger. I was wondering if they know when we see them. Thanks so much. I'm going to mild yes on it. It's not like they're flying over. Danger, danger. Human watching. I don't get that. It's like, us like going down the freeway coming, I hope the cop doesn't see me. So, no, I that's cool. I had an experience with it in Mount Shasta twice with those little disky things. They're fun. So, yeah. Hi, Gemma. When do you see Harris Walls return and take their rightful place in our history? Please. What I'm getting is we're going to be hearing a lot more about Harris by the end of the year into 2026. I'm not saying she's going to all of a sudden be president, but I am saying that she's still going to be a force to be reckoned with. And Tim Wells as well. Hi, Annie. Will Maxwell tell the truth when she testifies? Thank you so much. Her truth, so she can get out of jail. I don't feel she's going to look. She was. They already told her she's, have her on perjury charges from the last time. So, but if she says what they want her to say, I feel then she may get a lighter sentence. And then they said she gave 100 names, apparently, and that she didn't before. And I'm sure they're all going through it. Okay, where's the Democrats? And that's what will be released. Only the Democrats or dead Republicans. Hi, Witchy Garden. Will we have universal health care in America? Thank you. Eventually, yes. I would say in 5 years, 6 years. But yeah, we're heading there. Hi, Charlotte. Will Felon 45 have a major health event in August or sooner that the public will see or hear about? Thank you. Well, I mean, the man's rotting it from the inside out right before our very eyes. So, but we don't want to wish anybody ill will. Right. There's something going down with him. I've always felt. I've always, like I said, I've always said I see him on a gurney with a handcuff to a gurney, and sometimes I get the end of September, sometimes a little longer, but he's not going to be around as president. Okay, but I agree with you. It needs to be seen publicly. Yeah. I believe it will be. Gina Bug 84. Oh, that name. Just saw where 45 wants a list of celebrities arrested, including Oprah. How are Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil okay with this? She helped their success. Like they really care. Number one, this list is, again, do you think he'd be releasing this list if there's anything on the news about Jeffrey Epstein? Like there was no Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Nothing was brought up about that. And it's just, again, weapons of mass distraction. Yeah. But Dr. Oz, please. People have to prove that they're worthy of getting Medicaid. And there's too much sickness in this country, he was saying. Well, maybe we had better doctors that just don't put their name on stuff for money, Dr. Oz. Entertainment purposes only. Hi, Robin. What do you see about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? What will be the fate of Gaza? I've always seen it two states. I don't see Gaza turning into the Riviera for the rich with a 15-foot gold-plated statue of Trump. Maybe in his dreams, but not in reality. Eventually I feel the conflict's going to end. Hopefully by the end, I've often felt by the end of this year, it's just what's happening to the children. That's what's disgusting, what they're doing. And apparently 400,000 Palestinians have lost their lives. So this has to end soon. And it will. Thanks, Robin. Hi, Ivy Dell. Will we ever hear from the victims instead of the predators? A legion of victims. I assume you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Some of them don't want to come forward. They were young girls back then. Now they have lives and families. They don't want people knowing. So I feel there will be some people coming forward, some more people coming forward, yes, but not a legion of them. Because they moved on with their lives or attempted to. Okay. It's a good question, though. Thank you. Hi, Stargazer. Will the deportation of immigrants to countries that they do not come from be stopped anytime soon? I know there's a couple judges that are putting stuff forward on this. Anytime soon, there may be some restraining orders or something getting them to stop, temporary. I feel it's not going to be till the end of the year that they get that straightened out. So they'll still be like they're deporting people from Alligator Alcatraz right now to countries that these people didn't even come from, which is, I mean, how stupid is that? Or inhumane, actually. So there will be an end to it eventually. RSA West. Thank you for your live Sunday shows. You're welcome. Will Jim Jordan be held accountable for his SA of Ohio State student athletes? Yes, eventually. I've always felt a yes on that. He's on borrowed time right now. And we spell it GYM, okay? Isn't Jim Jordan. Hi, Rachel Marie. We don't know if Ghislaine Maxwell will be pardoned or her sentence commuted. Do you see her leaving in the dark? Will there be a private jet waiting? And will we see her go? Thanks. I don't get her getting pardoned. I don't see that right now. The optics would be really horrific if she were. They may lighten her. She's in there for 20 years. And believe me, she's not there for no reason. And when first you said she's going to be leaving in the dark, I thought you meant like Jeffrey. So I don't feel they're going to whisk her away. No. There's some deal going to be made. We will eventually find out about it. When Trump had Miss Teen USA, did he recruit girls for Epstein? No, Maxwell did. That was her sole purpose. Oh, Helen, you're so cute. You need glasses. Hello, handsome. Is Melanie knee deep in EPS files? I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about, but I got a yes on it. Do you mean Melania? Okay, Jennifer. Arthur, this may seem like a dark set of questions. I love things dark, like chocolate. Never mind, humor. I will ask anyway. Did 45 physically abuse her daughter, Ivanka? No. Mentally? Yes. Was she abused by others in his circle of what seems to be pedophiles? No. They knew that was no. Hands off. If Trump knew, I really feel Trump would have somebody put down if that were to happen. But also the creepy thing is when you're asking about did he abuse her, I got no. But remember, she was 12 years old. I can't date anyone younger than her now. It's kind of sick. Anyway, but no. Al Thompson, greeting. Wanted to send you a thank you. Want to send a thank you to Scotland. And will the U.S. ever have an equal rights amendment that actually protects women? Yes. Yes. I'm going to say within 2.5, 3 years. It'll be solid. Okay. Hi, Carol. I would like to know if Beto O'Rourke has a future in national politics. I saw him on a podcast, and he was very impressive. Wants to fight. I feel he's going to be in the Senate. I think he's running for Senate in Texas. I always felt he's going to, with the next 4 years, he's part of Congress. That's why I read him. Okay? He's not going away. And if it wasn't for Ken Paxton, I feel he did win the last time. Firefly, 45 signed an executive order to put people that are unhoused and the disabled into camps or institutions. Hitler had ordered that stated like this before, the camps. Do we have anything to worry about? History in this case is not going to repeat itself. It's scary, the whole thing. And Trump didn't even know about the Japanese internment camps, by the way. They had to tell him about it. To me, this is something that cooked up by, the wonderful Steve Miller. I understand it's a precursor, but heads have to be gone soon. He should have been gone. He's on borrowed time too. What I just heard is in 3 weeks, there's another scandal brewing around him that he may not be able to cover up. So we'll see. I don't see he's going to be in that position by the end of the year. Put it that way. Hi, Pebbles. How soon will Project 2025 be in our rearview mirror? By mid-2026, we can all line our parrot cages with it. Hi, Raymond. Will the tariff deal with the EU stick? What do you think? For maybe a week or two, then it's going to change. Every time I get mad, he's going to raise it, then he's going to lower it. He's an idiot. I don't feel it's sticking. Actually, I feel it's going to go lower. Quietly, with no fanfare. Jennifer, will 45 ever be held accountable for his crimes? I get a yes on it, but not as much as we would like it to be. But you can prosecute people that have crossed over. Hell, I'll bring a Ouija board and talk for him if you want. But I don't use a Ouija board. Just kidding. My favorite joke was, what do you get when Betty White was alive? What do you get when you have Betty White and a Ouija board? A Golden Girl reunion. Anyway, he'll be accountable in another realm. I'll tell you that. Okay. Spirit Animal 1212. Hi, Arthur. Do you see Ghislaine getting a commutation or pardon? If that happens, she will return home to the UK and keep a low profile. Will she be safe? I don't see a pardon. I see them maybe taking a couple of years off. Eventually, she does return to the UK if she's alive. I'll put it that way. That's how I'm going to read it. Victoria, will Gavin Newsom be our next president? I often said this. Sometimes when I look at this as predictions, it's like this, Victoria. It's an odd or even day. Because the odd days I get one thing, the even days I get something else. So it's fluid. But I always felt down the line he's going to be a very powerful voice in the government. Okay? Hi, Vicky. Do you see the oligarchs and a lot of people being exposed as in Epstein's files? Do you see this happening soon? As long as they're Democrats. That's a joke. Thing is, the people that they have enough money, so they're not going to be exposed. That's part of the problem. Is it all going to come out though? Eventually, yes. Yes. Where's Wiki Willikes when you need them? C.L. Huff. Will the men who participated in this exploitation of the young girls ever be prosecuted? Bill Clinton or the Prince? There are names going to be released. There will be some prosecutions. Whether those two people, I'm not sure. I'm not getting a yes, not getting a no. They're just saying there is a list. There are people that are still going to get in trouble. Okay. Hi, Rachel. Unless the prison put a box in the van for his first DOJ interview and no one saw. Wait a minute. Unless the prison put a box in the van for her first DOJ interview and no one saw, yet she had a box on return. Did Melania Trump send her any type of clothing or message? Thanks. I'm not sure who you're asking about. Seriously, I'm not sure who you're asking about, so I'm not going to answer the question. Okay? I mean, I make a fool of myself all the time, but I'm not going to answer it. Tara asked backwards. What motivated the regime to appropriate FEMA money for more camps when the Big Beautiful Bill, which I hope is the name of one of these people's cellmates, already appropriated to ICE almost $200 billion? That's why they're playing with the budget. You do realize that ICE's budget is more than the FBI and CIA and all these other things put together? It's crazy. Yet they only have a small percentage for judges. So, because I honestly feel, follow the money. Who gets paid for all of this? The in-between people that hire the ICE people are getting paid. So, anytime there's like, oh, we're going to privatize things. Yeah, that means somebody's going to privately get more money. Not us. Good question, though. Raven Picks, what do you see for August for Trump? I'd say hair loss, but how can you tell? I feel there's a decline, and it's going to be more noticeable, his mental state. And the more he whines, the more I just can't stand his voice. But I don't think we're going to have to put up with it for another year. Okay? Decline. Health-wise, mentally, whatever. The guides just said the word decline. So I'm going to go with that. I mean, I can pull a PPK card if you want. Sometimes it makes sense, future time. So we'll find out in the future. We're not getting an answer. Okay. Oh. Consequence, damage done. So yeah, consequences of whatever he's been eating or whatever he does. It'd be nice. I mean, true karma would be slipping on a packet of ketchup and falling and hitting his head. But that's not going to happen. All right. ISIS had attacked places in the Middle East, but Israel. Is ISIS part of Mossad? No. I don't know the politics over there, so I'm just going to, what I just heard was no, so I'm just going to go with that. I'm sure people will write me, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Well, this is what I got. Okay. Garden chicken. Will the hot weather continue for the rest of the summer, or will we, being cooked, get a break? I'm sorry. I see this continuing. I'm just waiting for here in Los Angeles and Southern California. We're probably going to get all this starting in September. But no, it's and then once the ground is all done, like a Susie Bake oven, and then it starts raining and there's lots of mud and slides. I've always felt as we get into fall, a lot of flooding problems, not caused by hurricanes either. So I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it the way I see it. I hope I'm wrong. Put it that way. Hi, Deborah. Will members of Congress be questioned by their constituents while out in public during their break? Many are not holding town halls at all. No, they're hiding. They're hiding in their basements. They're not going to be seen in public. Constituents, what's that? Oh, the people that voted me in? Nah, they don't matter to me. No, it's yeah. Constituents are very angry. It's going to catch up to them. I still say, the midterms, they're saying, oh, the Democrats are going to lose still. Well, it depends which news organization you're listening to. I still feel we may go blue right before the midterms anyway. Does the Bohemian Grove have anything to do with Project 2025? For people that don't know, Bohemian Grove is this place in California, very, very elite. And it's usually just men. And there's a big owl statue and all this stuff that goes on there. And supposedly they pick who's going to be the next president, all this kind of stuff. I would say if you believe in Bohemian Grove, like the Illuminati and all that kind of stuff, I'll say yes. If you don't believe it, I'll say no. Firefly. There's more Epstein pictures with 45 than there are trans athletes online since the 90s. Yet the Red Hats thinks everything else is the problem. That is a great comment. Will there be more leaks regarding the list? Ever see a colander? Yep. Or cheesecloth? Yep. I'm going to say in 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, I was looking at it last night when I was scrying, and I got 3 weeks. It's going to be, we're going to be able to starting connecting all the dots. It's going to look like a George Seurat painting. Will Melania be part of the felon's downfall? I feel she's already, covered her, what. I don't feel she's going to be part of his downfall. I feel he's going to be part of he is his downfall. Everything else is, but it's all stacking up, But will she fall? Yeah. Hi, Sharon. How is Bondi's health? Is it a real issue or for vanity reasons? Facelift. Well, I don't think she uses Clairol for that hair. I'm not reading health issues. But I just heard that if they try and bring her down, she may say, oh, I'm sick. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm, sure. We'll have Dr. Oz check you out. And Dr. Phil. Kim, oh, thank you, sweetheart. Do you think Peter Thiel and Vance are working behind the scenes together? In the past, but not now. How long are we going to have to put up with Kennedy? He is so dangerous to Americans. I know. I feel it's going to be gone by February of 2026, possibly sooner. Okay. But I never saw him lasting 4 years in there either. I knew I should have taken heroin in college. I could have been the government. Moon Whisperer. I have a question about the prison that they're going to be building in Arkansas. That's going to be like 500 million, and I'm sure that's coming from FEMA. Is this happening? I feel it'll get started. Will it get finished? That I don't. I'm not. It may not be finished. I could be wrong. I'm also getting, though, there's going to be some questionable contractors that are getting paid for this. You know, balsa wood doesn't cost that much money. That's what they're building these things out of. Janet, how long before the fake ICE get exposed? Let people know who these headhunters are. Actually, there were some people arrested in Los Angeles that were pretending to be ICE, and they were just picking up women and, we're going to traffic them. It's disgusting. But unfortunately, some other things have to go down before everyone goes down. But it's going to happen. Mangled Unicorn. Will both DeSantis and his wife go down for some kind of fraud for the money that allegedly took? How long do we have to deal with this crotch stain? I always felt his wife is going to be, they both get in trouble. His wife especially, for her private hurricane fund, where instead of donating to the Red Cross, DeSantis said, donate to my wife's, and then the money went to the people, allegedly. So they're going down. And he's such a good Catholic. Amanda. Hi, Arthur. When will it get too hot in the kitchen for Trump and he surrenders? I don't see him ever surrendering. Maybe with a tranquilizer dart from a like a Chinese rhinoceros or elephant. But no, I don't see him ever surrendering. Do you see any more of Trump cabinets stepping down? I always felt Marco Rubio is going to be used as a scapegoat for something. Tulsi Gabbard, who? She hasn't been around forever. But I'm going to say yes to that. Yes. Canadian fisherman was detained on Quebec side of Lake Champlain by U.S. Coast Guard, claiming he was in the U.S. What will be the fallout? Oh, I actually heard about this one, where the guy was just doing his thing, fishing, and they said he was in American waters, and he wasn't. And he claims he wasn't. He's fished there for all his life. And then they rammed his boat. He fell into the water. They capsized the boat, and they're more worried about the boat than they were about him. So he says. Even the other side, Americans were like, "Oh, he rammed the boat into us and all this." Who do you believe? It's an international thing, and I feel it's not getting the press that it needs. I feel if anyone, I don't get anyone getting in trouble. I just get people, getting reprimanded. Is NATO going to march on Moscow? I don't know on that. There are people, but not NATO itself. No. Those are great blue eyes, by the way. 'Cause, 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 But I do see there's a lot of stuff coming in Russia where they're not making money. Nobody's making money. They're starving. And it's all propaganda they put out there anyway. So you can't believe it. It seems as though the judicial system protects perps. Will this ever change? Well, they've got, unfortunately, the perps we've been seeing have a lot of money, and so they're able to play the courts. It's all going to fall down. It's all going to collapse. I'm telling you. So don't give up and keep the faith. And welcome to 1718 in the room. My God. Thank you for being here. Okay. Next question. Teresa Spriggs, thank you. Has Tulsi redeemed herself in Trump's eyes with the Obama treason sham after saying Iran did not have a nuke? Not enough. No, she still has to sacrifice to prove her loyalty. That's what we just heard. So take it from there. Hi, Deanne. I heard another medium say J.D. Vance is a plant. What do you say? Maybe an orchid. Fern. You mean like a Russian plant? No, I don't see that. Demand. I wonder will Republicans have majority in the House and Senate, the midterms? Also, will they reverse everything? Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah. They can't do it right away. It's going to take some time, but they are going to be working on it. And be putting things in place so some of this stuff won't happen again. Okay. But thank you. That's a great question. Hi, Mary. Will the terrorists bring Trump down? It's part of it. Like I said before, I keep on getting like these things being stacked together. And the higher they go, the bigger they fall. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of things piling up that bring him down. So yeah. That's why I always said, he's going to show us that weebles wobble and do fall down. Hyman, some lawmakers pushing to have extreme weather events categorized so they can be declared a state of emergencies like fires and floods. Will this pass, and how would that help? Well, if they claim things are state emergency, then supposedly they get their money faster. But what if there's no FEMA? I feel it may pass, but they're trying to. But then again, FEMA's leaving everything up to the states now, so it's going to be kind of difficult. It's to me, it's window dressing. I don't mean to be cavalier about it. Okay. Do you see Republicans paying for their crimes against people? Yeah. I do feel people are going to be rounded up and arrested. And you don't need ICE to do it either. Oh my God, I just saw an image of Ted Cruz running through a strawberry patch with people chasing him. Anyway, no, it's not. They're not getting away with it. So yes, to your question. Will Dan Osborne, independent, defeat Pete Rickards in next Senate race for Nebraska? I don't know the players. I'm getting there's a good chance for the independent. A good chance. That's all I'm getting right now. So I'm asking, would be Republican, Democrat, Independent? They didn't say. So, hi Rita. I still see supposed ICE police with masks. Will this end soon? Also, how is King Charles? You know, I talked to him last night. He's doing great. No, just kidding. The stuff, this cosplay ICE people are just, it's going to go down as the brown shirts. Number one. Number two, I felt Charles's health, it's doable for right now. I've always predicted that he does step down so he can see his son as king at the last moment. So we'll see if that happens or not. Don't ask me when. Okay. Hi, Raymond. Arthur, is it true that Ivanka won't leave her children alone with their father? You know, it's so hard to get those ketchup stains out of little kids' clothes. I don't know about that. I don't think Trump likes little kids anyway. So, not a bad move. Let's face it. No pets. Is Melania involved in Epstein's crimes? Good question. I heard there was somebody trying to link her to it all, but I got a no on it. She has more about visas and and all that kind of stuff. I don't think Epstein was involved in it. I could be wrong, but that's what I got. We'll find out soon. Hi, Heather Mack. Better late than never. When will the alligator Alcatraz be cleared out? Oh, be empty before the hurricanes? No. Unfortunately, I've said this on other shows where I feel the hurricanes hit, and there are people going to lose their lives. They can't. There's only one road in and out, and they're going to get the powers that be are going to worry about themselves, not the prisoners. But I do feel some people will escape and then tell the tale from another country. But I do feel this hurricane season. I mean, if you've seen the thing, it looks like it's made out of balsa wood. So we'll see. Patty, do you see any jail time for DeSantis boots Adolf? You know, I'm often asked if I felt he wears lifts and stuff like that. They're just the cloven hooves. I would like to say yes to the jail time, but there may be a way for him to get out of it. But I don't feel he'll ever be able to run for any, not even dog catcher. Okay? Any position. Hi, Sarah. Is there any hope for Fire Engine Red Indiana? Will they ever turn blue? Well, if you cut off the oxygen, never mind. I was a little kid. We lived in Indianapolis, so we always call it Indianapolis. Then we were little kids. Purple, maybe. I don't see maybe going full blue, but purple. And not right now. Hi, Lucy. I still fear for President Zalinsky's safety. Do you see him being safe? Yes, I do. I also feel that he's being protected by the realm, or the realm's protecting him rather. So yeah, he's being protected. Nobody with a umbrella is going to stab him. Okay. Do you see anything happening with Canada? Well, I know they want to evict. It's like the apartment building where you have 2 floors. The second floor lives above the crack house, and they want to like maybe evict the people from the crack house, or at least do something about that. But it's the owners of the crack house more than the participants. I actually see, I see Canada shining. Like when Reagan said, America's the shining on the hill or whatever it was. I really feel that Canada is going to just shine. So good things for Canada. Will Canada ever have another NAFTA free trade agreement with the U.S. eventually? Not while a man's sitting there putting on his facial makeup every morning, but afterwards, yes. And isn't it amazing he doesn't get his ears and his hands do not the same color? Just saying. What is going to happen regarding election interference in Georgia since Fannie Willis is off the case? Will it move forward ever? Yes. Things are on hold. The case is not over. It's not done. Things are on hold. So yes, things will be revisited. Even if, because don't forget, it wasn't only him is listed in the RICO charges. And some people did lose their law license over what happened in Georgia. So it's not done yet. It will be revisited. Hi, Rockman. I have a big question. Will the Democratic Party win the president in 2020? Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me who. But it's a Democrat. Hi, Amanda. Will the East Coast stay warm for winter, or will there be snow? There's going to be snow. I feel it's going to be extremes. I hate to say it. But it also may be shorter seasons. A shorter winter season. But what was the movie 2021 or 2012 where they showed like the hurricanes over, like these ice hurricanes over the United States? Not that bad, but pockets. So it would be nice if it, we didn't have winter anymore and everything's cooled out. No, I don't see that. Sorry. And I have to apologize. I do have a sore throat, so if I sound like I'm mumbling, I am. Trump is suing Rupert Murdoch. How will Fox News react? There's a trick that a lot of celebrities do. And Trump's one of them. They file that they're going to sue people. At the last minute doesn't mean they actually go through with it. But they got all the PR they wanted out of it. He wants $1 billion from Rupert Murdoch. Do you really think that's going to happen? No. Because then he'd have to do a deposition. And we know how he is in depositions. Non-existent. Mentally. So I'm not saying anything. It's just noise. It's like weapons of mass destruction again. Hi, Light Dancer. When will people start looking up the license plates of the masked ICE militia guys and out them? That's why they run around without license on their cars. Who owns them? who they are. Surely we can find out who these madmen are. I did like in Los Angeles, they were a group of, every time these people parked the car and got out, they would tow the car. You're legally parked. You know, I don't know if they have to show their ID to pick up the car, but maybe. But then again, I actually feel if these people are being paid money to do what they're doing, there's a record somewhere. And that will be gone through. Give it 2 years. Okay? Hopefully it's not like Johnny Appleseed, Barney Rubble. Yeah, who knows? Will Kamala get prosecuted? No. No, Clarence. Again, this whole thing about I'm gonna make a list and put it out there. Look over here. Don't look over here. Look over here. So she's that. Will the gay hairdresser Andre Romero return to the U.S. who suffered abuse and torture be okay? He was taken for having a mom and dad tattoo, kind-hearted man. Will anyone pay for these atrocities? Number one, he did get released from El Salvador. He is back in Venezuela with his parents. The people that really should pay are not going to in this lifetime. There are people that are going to be paying for this. Yes. There's going to be some whistleblowers too. I would say there's something coming in October about this. Around, I just heard October 18th, 19th, 20th. So we'll see what happens. Okay. I don't see him returning to the U.S. at this time. Do you see asteroid danger this year? No. But you can watch Don't Look Up. That's a good movie. Why Europe is not hard on BB. Seems like they condemn his actions, but it's all talk, no consequences. We all see what he is doing. I feel they're baiting their time. They're making a list. So it may look like he's getting away with stuff he's not going to. Okay. Him I can see in the tribunal for war crimes. Will Orange One children go down with him? Yeah. They won't believe it. You know, but I would feel somehow they're going to all turn on Eric and use him as the scapegoat. So, mark my word. But I also see in August that Barron is going to be in a little bit of trouble regarding the cryptocurrency stuff. Or kleptocurrency? Whatever. Regarding his stuff. And, yeah. Especially with the company, the company they started in Florida. I really feel there's going to be some investigations into that. Something, and it can't, the Pam Bondi won't let that happen. It's going to be so blatant, they can't ignore it. And also, it might be a state thing. So, states can do what they want as opposed to feds. So, I believe. I'll probably get tons of people saying, you're wrong. Okay, let me know. Caitlin, will the Epstein chump Israeli U.S. connections come out and be discussed? There's a lot of things going to be discussed on this one. So each individual thing you're asking about, just know that there's a lot of stuff going to be covered. Okay? Personally, I'm not getting a complete answer on that. That's why I answered the way I did. I would like to know what will happen to Netanyahu. Psychic says he's going to escape internationally. I want to see him punished. Can you see if he will pay for his heinous acts? I just said yes. I do see that. I don't see him getting away with it. I don't see him going down to Argentina or something like that. Will Maxwell hurt 45 or just the Dems? Hurt 45 or just the Dems? She's just looking out for herself. So whatever she has to say or do, that's what I got. Thanks, Felicity. Pam Bondi and her brother were talked about years ago with Epstein. Is she now trying to protect her brother? I don't know if he was involved with Epstein, but I'll say yes on that because Epstein was in Florida when she was in Florida. So we'll see what happens. Will Congress interview the victims and do more to expose the sex trafficking worldwide? I feel they have confidentially talked to the victims before. There's, like I said earlier, some of them do not want to come forward. They now have lives. They were young, kind of young at the time. They now have lives. They moved on. But I do feel like I keep looking at number 3. So I'll say there's 3 others that come forward. Okay. High Spirit Animal. When will Justice Clarence, along with a few others, leave the bench? He should have been gone a long time ago. Sorry. I always saw him leaving in October due to health reasons. But I guess since everything transferred back to Trump, he stayed. And I was going to say health reasons. What I've always predicted is in 5 to 7 years, we're going to have 13 Supreme Court justices. Because the reason we have 9 is because we had 9 courts at that time. Now we have 13. So that's why I've always said. I've said this many times. I want to say see, the thing is, I don't see Trump appointing any Supreme Court justices. So I don't see anybody resigning before Trump leaves. But afterwards, yeah. Okay. Will Texas be successful with their gerrymandering attempt? I keep on looking at it this way. I want to say yes, they think they got away with it, but then it's going to come and bite them. And even Gavin Newsom saying, "You're going to try it there? Okay, we can do the same thing in California." It's a rough game, and that's what it is. They look at it as a game. They want to win. Dan has had a few. This is the guy who was against Epstein stuff. Had Bungino had a few cryptic posts about not liking what he's seen, and government can't be run like that. What has he seen, and will he tell? He wants to live, so he's not going to tell. I see him resigning. I'm surprised he hasn't done it already, but I see him resigning. Do you see Michael Favone ever running for office? This is the police officer from January 6th. I get a yes on that. Don't ask me what, when, or how, but I get a yes on it. I think we got time for maybe one more question. Maybe. So let's see. Any young girls Trump abuse come forward? Again, I'm going to say, I get a no on it. Either afraid or, like I said before, they don't want people knowing about their past lives. Unfortunately. But I kept on feeling there were 3 that were coming forward. that will be enough to open up everything again. Okay. Thank you for that super sticker I saw just go by. Oh, thank you, Tarot Card. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. I was going to say, the whole thing about the Epstein thing is just, it's like a Pandora's box. Okay. Do you have a sense of a timeline when Trump will be gone or in the process of leaving? 6 months have felt like 6 years. I know, it's like dog years. Look, I've gone on record to say that I felt things were going to start going wonky for him after the 15th of March. Yeah, it's March, which I kind of have. I said as we get to the end of July into September, a lot of stuff is hitting the fan. And I think that's all the Epstein stuff and other stuff coming forward. I also feel there's lots of lawsuits coming forward. And I felt around the end of September, I always saw him in a gurney handcuffed. Now, is it because he's being wheeled out because other people are taking over the government? Or is it because it's health reasons? We'll see. Or is it a metaphor? We'll see. But I've never seen him in office for 4 years. But I've never seen Vance either. What do you see ahead for Adam Schiff's political future? Thank you. He's going to keep on going. He's like he's going to be around for a while. He left the House. Now he's in the Senate. So he knows where the bodies are buried, and he knows where the shovels are kept and where they were bought. So he'll be well. Okay. Well, that'll be the last question for today. Thank you, Swan. You people are so nice. It's hard for me to say thank you, and I'm not. I do appreciate it. My God, you have no idea. But it's hard for me to say. I'm the one that usually gives and doesn't accept. So it's hard to say thank you because I feel so humble. But in the meantime, thank you, everyone, all 1891 of you at the moment, for being here. You actually like me? I feel like Sally Fields. You like me? You actually like me? I had her famous Academy Awards speech. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm just trying to play with these gizmos here. So, I'll be doing a show tomorrow night with Allie and Marina called Let Spirit Drive. And then Tuesdays with Mel. Aloha Tuesday. And I forget what I have with the rest of the week. But in the meantime, if anyone's looking for a reading, I have openings in August and in September. You can reach me at arthureaseyourmind.com. Also, check out dragonflycrystals.store. That's the event that Val and I are doing once a month. In the meantime, thank you, everyone. I've just been so amazed with the growth of this channel, and it's because of you. I'm not here without you people. And I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart for everyone that has subscribed and that will subscribe, and the members. Thank you so much. And also to the moderators, to Sherry, to Walter, and everyone else. All right. So I'm around if you need me. In the meantime, just have fun, stay amazing, and all that good stuff. And just take care of yourselves. All right. And call your representatives. All right. Bye-bye.